Yo, 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 how's everybody doing? We start in just a second. Alright. Happy Sunday, everyone. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you touched some grass, had some fun. It looks like Bitcoin did nothing all weekend. Alright. So, we just got a new weekly close. Not too bad. Looks to be kind of flagging out here. What was one thing that we talked about before? Hold on. Lost the chat here. Yeah, it is a little late over there in Europe, huh? What's up, Jillian? Good to have you back. Faker, good to see you. Aaron, what's up, man? Mortimer, always good to have you. Ligma Wick, I like your name, bro. That's funny. Alright. So, what was one thing that we talked about before, guys? So we were talking about these weekly range deviation breakouts. And we were saying sometimes you'll get this close, right? You'll get the direction to confirm, and then you'll kind of get this consolidation. And sometimes it can last just a week, sometimes it can last longer, sometimes you don't get it at all, right? But when I ask myself, what does this price action look like? It looks a lot like what happened here, right? You get a close above the range deviation, and the next week consolidates. Now, does that mean that it's going to do the exact same thing? No, not necessarily, right? But it's always good to have some perspective. Like, has the price really done anything last week? Not really. Like, where did this week close? So we closed at 119, 131, and then last week just closed at 117,336. The price didn't really do anything, which is good, right? Because we didn't see like an immediate massive sell-off reaction from this level. It's just kind of holding out. So a lot of times people will capitulate in time, right? They'll think, well, the price hasn't done anything for a week, and it should be doing something, so it's got to go down now, right? And they'll get really bearish. But again, we're following structure. There hasn't been a 4-hour structure break yet. The structure's still bullish, and we're just moving sideways. So let's look at some of our smaller time frames here. Just marking out our important currencies on the daily. We haven't really gotten our higher low after our structure break yet, so we don't really have like a momentum line. We do have a momentum line on our weekly though. If we're taking a look at our weekly momentum from this new weekly low, and just using the weekly momentum line, I mean, you can see we've been bouncing off that all the way up, right? So we know that we have heavy support down here around like 113, around 113.5, right? And for those of you that may think trend lines don't work, right? We're talking about high time frame, am I wrong momentum lines, right? Like if we just take momentum from this low, connect to the first higher low after the weekly break of structure, right? Then follow that out, right? I mean, you've caught every low off this momentum line, right? So these weekly trend lines do matter. So obviously, important level to have on your chart. Include this new weekly trend, which has support around 113.5. So that's an important level to mark out. Now, one thing to keep in mind is if we are going off of Heiken Ashi candles here, we had our bearish break here, and then we rejected off the golden pocket. So should we get continuation down and like another break of structure here, we would have a bearish trend on the 4-hour hike and Ashy candles. Right now, this just looks like it was really just a change of character, right? It's not really a downtrend yet, but this would be where we would expect to get the continuation from if we were going to start a 4-hour downtrend. So just something to keep in mind. All right, let's see. So we looked at the daily. Let's look at 12-hour here. 12-hour broke structure here. Higher low. Lost a 12-hour trend. So obviously closing back above this trend line on the 12-hour would be great. I would reclaim momentum here. Let's look at our smaller time frames. Now this is the first time I've looked at the chart since the weekend, so bear with me. We're figuring this stuff out together. Let's see. Okay, so on our 1-hour, we did break back bearish on the 1-hour here. Let's see. Would you look at that? Yeah, so obviously a 1-hour close below 116.611 would not be great in terms of if you're a bull, right? It would look like we are probably going to get some continuation, maybe down to the golden pocket that we front ran here. So a couple things to mark out on your chart to set alerts for. This low being taken. So a sweep of this low that does not close below 114.5. So yeah, so if we come down and sweep this liquidity into our golden pocket, right, where's our golden pocket? So we take our 4-hour and we grab from the low to the high, we draw on our golden pocket. So yeah, so if we sweep down this week, we come down into this liquidity, we maybe bounce from our golden pocket, reclaim the range, close within, and we don't violate this level here with a close, then that would just look like a range deviation down, take out all the stops in this low, grab the liquidity for continuation higher. Now, remember, we have a lot of support here, right? As the week goes on, what day is this? Thursday, right? So our trend line creeps up to our range deviation on Thursday. Now, this is our 4-hour low. Should this break, this would be where our 4-hour would be in a downtrend, and I would be much less bullish. I'd be bearish. But until that happens, we're still just in an uptrend, and we're looking for good RR entries into the uptrend for continuation. So yeah, so maybe take a screenshot of this. What I would look for here is I would look for a 5-minute hike and break of structure inside this deviation zone. I would look for it here. And I will signal this if I see it, if I'm at the charts here for you guys in the Discord, as we come down here, because we've been looking at this golden pocket for a while here. It's 115, 250, 114.8. So definitely a level to have marked in your chart. Okay. Don't want some MAs here. 4 hour just closed below the 50. 4 hour 200 is way down here. Let's see, let's look at our 2 hour. We got our 90 minute. Breaker demand here. It's already been mitigated. 2 hour. Was that our CME gap that we filled earlier? Yeah, okay. So that's already been filled. See what our CME trend line looks like. $113. A lot of support around 113. Okay. Okay. So obviously, what to watch for now, it would be the 1 hour close below 116.11 or the bullish break of structure on the 1 hour, which would be right here now. If we close above this level here, which is 118.951, that would resume back a bullish trend on the 1 hour, and then your 1 hour would align with your 4 hour, and you generally be expecting higher prices, probably to come up and sweep all of the liquidity in these highs, in this like triple top here, triple top liquidity here. So to the downside, the levels I'd be looking at is a sweep of this low at 115.744, and to the upside, I'd be looking for us to take out 118.951 to then run the liquidity in the highs. All right. Let's talk about, the last stream was on Wednesday, so let's talk about the price action this week. So one important call out. So in the Discord, I shared an update with everyone on Friday. We were talking about looking for longs underneath this 1 hour EMA here. Let me check here. Oh yeah, we're bouncing off the value area low here. Nice. Where did I? Okay, it doesn't matter. So you're looking for a buy here, and our target was this 50 EMA here. So the reason for that is the EMA trade that's on the channel, where you have your 50 EMA over the 200, you buy underneath the 200 for at least a retest of the 50. You ended up getting a little bit more than that because it pushed up to like the 30-minute golden pocket. And now you're getting a SFP of the lows, sweep of the lows. Let's look at our indications here. Strong to move down. Let's go to the 4 hour. Yeah, for sure, Roder. No problem. Swept the liquidity here. Yeah, probably coming for that liquidity. Yeah, so notice how the low of the channel on the 4 hour as well. Oh, there it is. Oh, there's my TA. Okay, yeah, this is what we were looking at in the Discord, right? We had this buy box here, and we were targeting the 1 hour 50 EMA, which our target got hit here. This was the trade that was shared in the Discord. So if you're not in the Discord already, make sure you join that, because I'm trying to provide like more short-term trade opportunities in there. But yeah, so on the 4-hour, notice how the bottom of our channel on the 4-hour aligns with the golden pocket range deviation level that we've been looking at. So should we come down here? It's also the reversal zone. Now, if we wick into this reversal zone and don't close below it on the 4-hour, that would be a strong buy signal. That would be a very strong buy signal. Because what do we have right now? We have divergence here. So if we get a quick sweep down and wick into here, close above, holding our range deviation, then we would have bullish divergence on the 4-hour. We'd have a MACD cross underneath the 0 line, right? So the oscillator has reset, ready to go again, right? Now, whenever we get this cross underneath the 0 line, that alone is a strong signal in an uptrend. But if you know your levels that you're looking for to get like for stop losses and to confirm, it's even stronger. But yeah, so our 4-hour has reset. It was overextended. We had bearish divergence at the highs. It's cooled off. We're ranging. We got a lot of liquidity in the lows. We got a lot of liquidity in the triple top highs. So yeah, I like this setup. Really, I do. I like this setup for bullish continuation. Let's look at some other time frames. Let's go to the 1-hour. So what I like about the 1-hour, so if you're looking at Cipher Matrix, Cipher Matrix gave you the buy earlier in the week last week, at the start of the week. It was like Tuesday. He gave you the buy at the deviation level here, and then he gave you these 2 shorts as well from the golden pocket. And when we were looking at the 30-minute here, Cipher Matrix also gave you nice confluence at our buy level. It gave you this triple buy, bounce off the deviation level, and then it also gave you the golden pocket short. So I'm proud that Cipher Matrix has been kind of looking at the same levels that I am. If you want to get that, by the way, just join the Discord, shoot me a DM. We have, I think, 26 more slots left before launch. And they go up, lifetime price goes up with every 10 people until it reaches the launch price. So if you want to get in early, go ahead and head over there because we are selling slots quickly. But that's enough showing. Let's get back to the TA. Let's look at that 90-minute. So I would expect a bounce when we come under this 90-minute 200. So let's mark that. This kind of spider line area here. Kind of like the 116.466 to 116. Where's it? 2-hour. Yeah, but with the 2-hour being underneath the sweep, so we may get a small bounce here, or we may get, a bottom bounce. But oh, we're at the bottom of the channel on the 2-hour. Man, yeah, we'll probably get a bounce here. It's gonna be like 116.5 to 116. Look for a 5-minute break of structure inside of this area for a retracement back to 118. It's the same exact trade. So let's explain this. Okay, let's explain the EMA trade. So let's start with our 15-minute. Let's clean up the chart so we can. I really want to hammer this home because you don't need to know structure. Well, obviously your entry is gonna be better if you know structure, but you don't need to know structure for this strategy to work. And it's really easy. It's really beginner friendly. So, for example, let's start with our 15-minute. So we're in this monstrous pump, right? We're in this monstrous pump, and you can even see it. So the trade starts here when you get the bullish cross. You get the bullish cross of the 50 and the 200. And then you're buying underneath with your invalidation being if the 50 EMA crosses back below the 200. At the beginning of the cross, you're looking for the continuation of the trend. And so you would have longed here, right? Target previous highs. You would have longed here, target previous highs, longed here, target previous highs, and you hit the target, and then you can obviously leave a runner, right? Because these are trend trades. Now, whenever the EMAs are more spaced out like this, your target becomes the previous EMA. So if you notice, the 15-minute, we hadn't tapped it since down here when the trend started. And then when price finally gets to that level and retests it here, where does it go? Well, back to test the 50. TP1, right? So then we go to our 1 hour. What happens? Let's start with the cross, right? Cross is here. You buy underneath. 50 never crosses back under the 200. You're targeting previous highs. TP1, and you could still be in that trade, right? Another chance here, another chance here. Targeting previous highs. Ride the rest up. Easy trade. High confidence, easy trade. Same thing down, right? 50, I mean, if you shorted here, whenever it crossed back up, right, it would have been invalidated. But then you jump right back in. Whenever it crosses down, above, targeting previous lows. And then liquidity, right? And the trend line, whatever your targets are. Right? Crosses bearishly, short above, targeting previous lows. TP1, liquidity. Liquidity. Right? So hopefully you guys see that. So that's the trade that we saw here. Come underneath. Targeting the 50 EMA, tap the 50 EMA, came up a little bit higher, but obviously you probably would have hit TP1 here and then got stopped out in profit, or however you want to do your stop. We're getting another opportunity here as long as the 50 doesn't cross below the 200, and that's the trade that we're looking for on the 90 minute, right? So should it come down here on the 90 minute, we would look for a rotation back up to 118. Okay, does that make sense, guys? Okay, so let's look at some bigger time frames. Let's look at 12 hour. Here's an, yeah, let me show you guys another example, just because I really want to hammer this home with you guys. So where was the best time to re-enter in this whole consolidation period? So if you're looking at the 12 hour, the best spot to re-enter was right here. If you had entered when the 12 hour wicked below the 200, targeting previous highs, that's a 13% move, just off of EMAs, right? Looking at the 2-day. The 2-day will blow your mind. Look at the 2-day, all right? They cross bullishly, buy underneath, buy underneath, buy underneath, buy underneath. Absolute best swing trades you could have taken all cycle just off of an EMA. So if you're not using this, definitely add it to your arsenal, right? And like it works on small time frames too, right? They cross bearishly, sell above, targeting previous lows, hit take profit, gave you another chance, hit take profit again. You see what I'm saying? Short, TP1, 50 EMA or previous lows, right? And the thing is, whenever you get stopped out on these, right? It's like the risk to reward from the previous trades, it's gonna be profitable. This is a profitable strategy. Another good one is like the 13 EMA with the 200 EMAs, or with the 50 EMA. I like that one a lot too. So like if you use Traders Reality, for example, and you're looking at the like 13 EMA and the 50, right? So the 13 EMA crosses the 50. You're buying underneath both. Right? Targeting previous highs. Crosses bearishly. You're selling above both. Targeting previous lows. Right? Stopped out here. Small loss. Big win. big win, big win, big win, small loss. Right? Get the point? It's a very rules-based strategy so that you can stick to rules and be profitable without knowing market structure. And again, right? 13's above the 50, we're bouncing from underneath, right? Getting another chance here, right? So there's ways to be profitable. This market, just make sure you're always learning. So we're bouncing from the range deviation again, right now. Also, Cipher matrix on larger time frames. I mean, you're just nailing that bottom as well. Now, we are losing the deviation bands on the 12-hour, and the trend ribbon is not yet, but has a possibility to flip bearish here, just something to be aware of. $12-hour golden pocket is going to be down here at 112. 112 is also where the 4-hour 200 EMA is. Now, if we come below this 4-hour 200 EMA with the 50 EMA up here, you buy that. Like if somehow we find ourselves down here at this demand block today, or not today, sorry, this week, which I do not think is likely. Let me be clear about that. I do not think it's likely. Possible, but not likely. Right? Should we find ourselves down here underneath this EMA? Obviously, waiting for a 5-minute structure break, if you know structure, would be best. But if not, I mean, you're just taking this trade. I mean, back to previous highs, that's like a 6-to-1. Using the bottom of the deviation band as your stop, this would be a really good trade. But like I said, this golden pocket lining up with the bottom of the deviation band. Like if you ask me what trade are we more likely to get, this trade or the golden pocket trade, I would say 100% this golden pocket wick trade is way more likely. So wicking into the golden pocket here, wicking into this deviation band, wicking into the bottom of the channel, and not closing any candles within here. That's the like A+ setup. Sweeping all the liquidity from the weekend lows or from last week's lows and going. Now we might not get that because again, we're testing some pretty critical levels. We're testing that 90-minute 200. We're testing the 1-hour 200. We already grabbed some liquidity with that CME push. Nice volume on the low there. The oscillator's already reset on the 4-hour. Like I would 100% be watching for this MACD cross on the 4-hour. A MACD cross. So let's go back. A good way to figure out how to use an indicator is to look, oh, what happened the last time this happened, right? So push up on the 4-hour. MACD gets back underneath the 0 line. MACD cross underneath the 0 line. Low for the trend. Right? Let's look next. Let's look back again, right? Big push up, trend move up, MACD cools off on the 4-hour, underneath the 0 line, MACD cross underneath the 0 line, low for the trend. Right? Let's go back. So this was in a 4-hour downtrend, right? I guess we flipped the 4-hour here. Oh, this was that range retest. Yeah, and notice all this was a retest of the bearish retest of the 200. Bearish retest of the 200 on the 4-hour. Right. But yeah, so obviously this doesn't look similar to what we're looking at, does it? No, probably not, right? So I would argue this does, right? Trend move up underneath the 0 line, bullish cross, low for the trend. Trend move up, reset underneath the 0 line, low for the trend. You guys get the point? So obviously, if we get this bullish MACD cross on the 4-hour, Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, right? So if every time that we have a big trend move up on the 4-hour and a bullish reset of the reset of the 4-hour MACD and then a cross underneath the 0 line, it's been a low for the trend. Well, then if I was a betting man, I would argue that it's probably gonna do the same thing again, right? So don't work smarter, not harder. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about anything that we've gone over so far before moving on? No? Okay, cool. If you guys have any coins that you want me to look at, you can go ahead and throw those in chat now. We're almost done with Bitcoin here. Still in the reversal bands on the weekly. MACD still bullish on the weekly. Man, look at that. Look at the cipher matrix. I think we were talking about last week on the weekly open how the top of the channel here was at like 123, 267. That cipher matrix regression channel, it wicked that top there. It's interesting. Okay. Yeah, Mortimer, go back and watch the trading doesn't have to be hard. This EMA trick proves it video on my channel. That will go over that strategy in a little more detail. Also, if you watch the one-on-one coaching video I did with Kelefant, I went over that in terms of like implementing it in a trading strategy. I went over that on Solana with her live on the stream. So if you go watch the part where I'm talking about that in the one-on-one with her, that'll show you how to apply it to specific coins. So if you're wanting to do that, I would check out that. What time frame do I think Cipher Matrix is best at? So I know Geeky likes it a lot on the 5-minute. I would argue higher time frame the better, right? Like if you're setting a buy signal, a buy alert on the 12-hour, for example, you don't have to look for as many confluences, right? Because you're getting a buy alert here. What happens after that alert goes off? Price goes up 12%, right? Getting a buy alert here. What happens after that? Well, I mean, you could technically still be in that trade, right? But by our rules, you would have exited it here when the trend cloud turned purple, right? So 30% move. If you get your buy alert here, what happened there? So far, it's giving you 17%. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the 5 minutes great if you know how like to aggressively take profit and you understand break of structures and change characters. Like whenever we were in this range here on Bitcoin. Oh yeah, I have deviations on. That's why it looks weird. Anyway, whenever we were here, we fixed that here. Whenever we were in this range here. Now you would have had the deviation band, or sorry, the matrix channel would have done this part for you. But basically, if you had just taken the 4-hour signals, understanding that we're ranging, right? Buy here, buy here, buy here, right? You're gonna get those high time frame trades that are gonna work better in your favor. Like even these counter trend trades here, like obviously, if you know how to use the indicator from everything that I've said, you wouldn't have taken these shorts. Why? Because we're still in the band here. Now you may have taken this one because of the coming out of the band and retesting bearishly, but even taking a counter trend signal there, what do I tell you guys? Imagine there's an EMA going through the center here, right? You would have hit your first take profit here. So obviously, the more you know about trading, the more you've earned the right to go on smaller time frames, and the more you've like practiced with the indicator and learned it. But if you're new, I would just set buy and sell alerts on the top 10 cryptos on the like 4-hour, the 2-hour, the 6-hour, and the 12-hour, and then trading those is going to be the safest, right? If that answers your question. Okay. Okay, let's look at the coins we got here. SEI? Yeah, we can look at SEI. It's nice because some time has passed since I last looked at all these assets, so. Oh, this is not the right coin. Okay. Ooh, so you have a 1 hour EMA trade coming up here. It's kind of this bottom of the channel EMA retest around this zone. Let's see. Yeah, like if you notice these 1 hour signals, obviously, like you would have shorted here or shorted the loss of it here. But again, you want to take the signals with trend for the highest success rate. But right, you take these 1 hour buys, for example, and you're closing it out the reversal zone here, liquidity sweep, right? Or you take the short here because it went above and didn't close. It wicked into it and didn't close inside on Heikin-Ashi, and you got this double sell signal. You take that short, right? Sort of these things to look at. So we're hitting the golden pocket right now in the 1 hour. We got a bearish cross on the trend ribbon. Yeah, I like underneath the 1 hour 200. However, market structure side, I think that looks pretty good. Let's see. Let's look at our momentum. So obviously I would love to long it from here, but this might be wishful thinking right now, but I would love to long it here, just a level to have an alert set. I would love like a 30-minute break of structure in this zone for like more of a swing position. And that's going to be, let me throw some rays on here. That's going to be like the 27 cents mark basically. In terms of 4 hour structure here, we had, this is your relevant 4 hour low. So this would be where you get your 4 hour bearish break of structure. Where's our order box here? So I'd also love to long it here. Same idea. And I'd also like to long an SFP of this. Let's go a little internal here. I like this EMA trade. Okay, so more locally, I like this EMA trade. Inside demand, or I like any 5-minute. It's a shitcoin. Okay, any 12-minute break of structure out of this demand, I like with stop loss guard underneath 12-minute low. I like this EMA trade, and then I like these two swing trades. And ultimately, I would love to buy down here, but I don't think you're gonna get that chance. So hopefully that gives you some ideas here. Oh, what's up, Andrew Cameron? Good to see you, man. Sui, yeah, we can look at Sui. Actually, I have spider lines, hold on. So what did I tell you guys when we hit this 410 level here on Sui? That we were hitting a, oh, and wow, which, yeah, so EMA trade, right? There you go. Buy underneath the 200, right up to the 50. Okay, so we have some structure on this. So Sui, it's a good time to look at. Also spider lines, guys, look at this. Okay. So we had a 1 hour break of structure bullishly here. Where's our golden pocket? Underneath our EMA as well. Yeah, I like this. Again, I would look for like a 12-minute. Okay, inside the golden pocket, I'd look for like a 5-minute break. I mean, Sui, yeah, you can trust structure on Sui. So I would like a 5-minute break of structure in here to use as your stop loss guard. Obviously, understanding structure, you can get your risk reward a lot higher, right? If you're not looking at structure, your stop loss would look like this, still 3-1. Understanding structure, you'd have a much better risk reward. If it can form a W underneath these, let's see, where's our path? Yeah, if we can form like a double bottom here without this and save this 50, like this 50 doesn't cross the 200, that could be nice as well for continuation as well. But I really like this 380 level because it's also demand, right? Oh, we already tapped it. Yeah, I like a break of structure out of this. Target would be the liquidity in the highs. Yeah, if we can save the 50 here, I like a run up of these highs. Otherwise, I like a sweep of this low, because the higher low is where most people are going to get in, right? Most people don't get in on the wick, so a lot of liquidity sitting here. Like a sweep of this, and then obviously an SFP of the low. But I'd like a sweep of this low better on like 370. So I like the golden pocket, I like 370, and then I also like saving this EMA here, like a break of structure. Where would that break be? Right here. Like a 12-minute break of structure here, I like that as well. Those are kind of the three trades I'd be looking at. Yeah, that's what I see on Sui. Let's look at Cipher Matrix on Sui here. See? That's why you don't FOMO. I gave you guys a FOMO trade and it got stopped out, right? That's why you wait. That's why you wait. Okay. Let's see. Man. Ooh. Oh, that looks good. That looks good on Cipher Matrix, especially if this trend ribbon flips blue. That looks good. Okay. Bouncing right off of discount every time it's falling into discount here. Oh, I was like, where are all my spider lines? Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah. Wow. Okay, yeah. Look at these spider lines, guys. Let's get rid of. Let's go back over here. Let's hide our drawings here. Oh, that won't work. Look at that. Spider lines work, guys. This stuff's crazy. You got your low. Bounce perfectly off the 370 spider line. You got your high bounce perfect off the 424 spider line. There is a stream where I went over all of these altcoin spider lines, everything in this list here, where you can copy these to your own chart as well. But yeah, I mean, they're great. They're Tony the Tiger great. They're great. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I kind of see on TUI. Tommy, I'm pretty sure the 15-minute would be the same. The 12-minute just closes a little bit before the 15-minute, so you can usually catch it a little bit faster. Yeah, okay, so here's a great example of why I would use the 12-minute here. So if you're looking at the 15-minute, so if you're looking at the 15-minute here, there's no relevant high here. Right? Because you need 2 consecutive candles in a row. Right? You took out the low, but you didn't put in a high. So most people wouldn't be looking at this for a structure flip. Now, what do we see? Man, the 15-minute. What do we see on the 15-minute, right? 50 is above the 200. They crossed. You're buying underneath for trend continuation. You guys see it, right? You guys see it. Anyway, but if we switch over to the 12-minute, there's a relevant high here. So that would be an example of why I use a 12-minute here. I like this setup even more now. Yeah, I really like the setup. Yeah, because like you have the bullish cross, you buy underneath for trend continuation. Okay. XRP, yeah. Spider lines on XRP, right? Where are we bouncing from all weekend long? The spider line. Right? You find support on this spider line. Where do you go? You go to the next one. You find support on this spider line. Where do you go? Quick ride all the way to the next one. Find support on this one. Where do you go? Quick ride all the way to the next one. Find support on this one. Where do you go? All the way to the next one. Where's the next one? $4.31. So if we find ourselves up here at $4.31 sometime this week, right? You would have seen it here. Invalidation would be fall beneath the spider line, reject from it. You get out at your entry rejection. So, with that being said, what would I be looking for on XRP? Well, I'd be looking at this. All right, call me crazy, but I can see that. Let's look at the weekly. Ooh, weekly rejected from a spider line. I like that less now I looked at the weekly. I mean, I still think it could play, and you have an easy invalidation of falling back below the spider line, but hold on. Ooh, that would... okay. Let's do some non-only spider line based TA. Yeah, but again, like you're... Okay, where did these cross? Because this is a great example. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so glad you asked me to look at this coin. Okay, so guys, the reason that you're going to hear me repeat things on this channel over and over again is because they are so important. So this is your 15-minute, 50 EMA, and your 200, right? They cross here. You're buying underneath. They crossed. You're buying underneath. You're buying underneath. You're buying underneath. You're buying underneath. Like, do you guys see what I'm showing you here? Okay. Anyway, moving on. So $300 subs, we hit it? Dude, Andrew, thank you, bro. I didn't even notice. Let me check. Ooh, we did hit it. Okay. What do you guys think? Should we do the giveaway today or should we do it tomorrow? Let me know in the chat. Yo, thank you guys. I appreciate all of your support. Yo, if you're new here, if you're one of the new subscribers, jump in the Discord. That's where you're going to be able to chat with me during the day. You're going to be able to get my morning videos and more local TA as well. So definitely join the Discord. And thanks for being here. Make sure you subscribe. Check out the free back-tested strategies on the channel. We have the MACD strategy. We have the EMA strategy. I've back-tested everything I share with you guys. I would not share anything with you guys if I haven't back-tested it myself. Welcome to the fam. I appreciate you guys. That's awesome. It's really awesome. Also, 28 watchers, 25 likes. You guys are the best. You guys are literally the best. Appreciate each and every single one of you. Okay. Back to the sauce. Back to the sauce. So we have this 1 hour 200 EMA. So should Bitcoin get a big pullback, which is not what I'm anticipating, but should it, right? This 316 level. I like XRP there. And I like a 15-minute break of structure to rotate back to the highs. I would like that too. But I also like this spider line trade a lot, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh, the spider line moved when I switched to the weekly. That's crazy. Okay. Yeah, they'll do that sometimes. Yeah, we'll see. Heck yeah, guys. 300. Let's go. Okay. Is there any other coins in here? I guess I can do like some regular TA here. Let's see. Non-EMA. Or let's look at it on Cipher Matrix, yeah. Man, look at that spider line touch. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay. Yeah, we're still holding. Ooh, we're underneath the trend ribbon. We're still holding this deviation band. Now, obviously, if the price does this and falls out of the band, this trade would look less appealing. But right now, if it holds the band and continues up, it can still continue up, right? What do you guys know about these deviation bands on Cipher Matrix, right? Something like this would be appealing for a short, right? A wick in there, but no closes within, right? Something like this would be appealing for a long. Something like this would be appealing for a long. Now, what do you guys know? You are not shorting this asset inside of these bands. You are not doing it. Because as long as it stays within your deviation band, it can continue to just rip your fucking face off. Because what does it really mean when you're inside a deviation band, right? What does it mean? It means that you are not ranging. This price behavior where you're just bouncing from one band to the other, right? This is when the market is ranging, right? When you are doing this, this means the market is trending. And it can trend longer than you can stay solvent in a short, right? So you're waiting for your confirmations, you're waiting for the trend ribbon to flip bearish, you're waiting for a bearish retest of the band after falling out of it before you're flipping into a bear. As long as this stays within the band, it can just continue trending up. Now, if you're in a long on XRP, you're chilling. You're chilling, right? You might be taking profit at these spider lines on the way up, but you're chilling. You're not worried until you lose this band and this flips bearish. Until then, you know, we might see ourselves at like 466 next, right? You never know. So just chill out if you're in the long. We gave this long down here. Proud of you guys for anyone who took it. Man, awesome. Okay. Yeah, if you're in this, I mean, you should have been out here, right? We had a target, but if you're holding on, right? Good for you. You've changed the RR. Yeah. Okay. Cool. How to tell if it's raining or trending using Cipher Matrix. Awesome. Happy to answer your question. Okay. 400 next. That's right, Canadian. Appreciate you, dog. Hell yeah. Okay, I think to be fair to everyone, we'll do the giveaway tomorrow since we hit it on stream so that everyone has a chance to be here and participate. So we'll do it on tomorrow's stream at the normal time at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yeah, Kilowell, no problem. No, thank you, Kilowell, for asking me to look at XRP because I'm going to look at it a little more after the stream because I might take a trade on it. Let's see. Okay, so a couple things to go over. So I want to have a stream schedule that's consistent for the week so that everyone can be here. So for now, we're going to stick with the time that everyone voted on, to be fair to you guys. So it's going to be 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And it's going to be Monday. So this Sunday stream is going to be... How is BNB looking after your alert hit? Yeah, we'll look at BNB after this. Sunday, it's going to be at the same time, the weekly close time, 6:30 to 7 Central Standard Time-ish. During the week, it's going to be Monday through Thursday. Here's what we can do. We'll do Monday through Wednesday at the 8 p.m. time. Thursday, for all of the folks that can't make it at that time, we'll do the Thursday stream at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I'm going to pin this in chat. So we're going to do Sunday. And then Monday to Wednesday. And then Friday and Saturday, you guys should be out there touching grass, okay? So we're not going to do streams those days. Okay. That's going to be the stream, the tentative stream schedule for, consistent stream schedule for you guys going forward. We're going to look at BNB for Kill Whale, and then we're going to call it for the weekly open stream. I will be trying to do more of those morning update videos. I know you guys liked the one on Friday. It's also awesome that we just keep hitting trade setups over and over again here. I love it. We'll see if it happens again this week. Love to see you guys winning. And I also love to see, keep the profit logs coming from the strategies. I love when you guys tell me, hey, I used this strategy that I saw on your channel and I made this profit, or I did, like, just include something about like what you did to get the win. Just because it makes me feel like I'm actually, you guys are absorbing the ransom going on, which is great. Okay, let's look at BNB. Oh man, BNB. just in a big range. 2021. Mark this level. I'm gonna start with I haven't really charted. Oh man, look at Cipher Matrix giving you the bottom on BNB, bottom of the bear market. Okay. So I'm just gonna do some macro TA because I haven't really looked at it here. Let's get our targets up here. Okay, so you weekly close above 820. I think you probably get a fast move to 904. I think you get a fast move to 1,000. You get a weekly close above 820.38. You think you get a fast move to 1,000. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's zoom in here. Yeah. I mean, these large time frame buys in an uptrend. It's looking good. Okay. So same thing goes for BNB, right? I'm not really wanting to short this asset until we lose our 4-hour deviation band and we get like a bearish retest or we get a trend-driven flip. Right now, it's strong trend-driven to the upside on the 4-hour. You got liquidity in the highs here, sitting at 766. Let's look at our 1-hour. EMA strat on the 1-hour, giving you the low, right? Cipher Matrix Confluence. Let's see, buying underneath the trend ribbon. Yeah, this looks a little bearish on the 1-hour. That looks a little bearish. So in terms of pullback levels, I mean, you still have a really healthy trend ribbon. So I don't mean short it, right? Don't short it. It's an uptrend. No reason to short it right now. But in terms of buying back in, I like here. Like 742-ish. Let's switch over to regular candles here. Have like a nice 4-hour order block or something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like any 30-minute break of structure out of this order block or out of this demand. Sorry, that doesn't look right. Stop loss card here. I like a 30-minute break of structure out of this, or I like any 5-minute break of structure out of this. Or I like any 5-minute break of structure out of this 4-hour demand here at 736. So 742 and 736. To the upside, if you're in a long, your target is going to be 766.26 for right now. And then macro, close weekly candle above 820, fast move to 1,000. This trend line up here. Close a weekly candle up here, you're going to get a fast move up here. That's what I see on BNB. Awesome. All right, guys. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for updates. If you missed the beginning of the stream, go ahead and go back. That's going to be all the Bitcoin analysis. We're going to do a giveaway tomorrow during the stream. If you want one of the Cipher Matrix slots before launch, hit me up in Discord. And make sure you guys check out the Trading Doesn't Have to Be Hard. This EMA strat proves it video on the channel, and make sure you check out the New York, scalping in New York like a sniper, the 5-minute hiking strategy. Oh, one more thing that I want to go over. So let's look at the homework from last stream. Hopefully you guys did it. The break of structure. Someone asked me to go over this on stream, so let's do that. If you want this buy level, these trades, take a screenshot of this because I'm about to wipe it. Okay. Okay. So 5-minute external versus internal structure. Because I tell you guys, whenever we're dumping, what do you look for? You look for the hike and break on the 5-minute time frame. So it was here where they were asking about it. So the way the structure works is, so you need 2 candles in the same direction to set a high, right? So you break the low here. Actually, that's internal. So you break the low here. This was your high. You never swept it. On Bybit, we did sweep it. So on Bybit, you would be looking at this low. But just for the sake of you guys understanding, this is your external high. Why is this external? Because this is the high that got us to this low. So in order for us to move our relevant low up here, we would have to close a candle above, or to sweep a candle above there, right? So since we didn't, our relevant low is here. So we break that low here. Then we set another high here. This high is internal because the low that was set, or this high was not taken out, if that makes sense, right? This is the high up here that got us down here. Now, what would have made this a relevant high? If we had come down, broken this low, then put in that high, then put in this low. Now this becomes external. Because it's about, if we're looking at a relevant low, for example, this one, what high got us here? The last break was here, put in this low, the high that got us here is here. So this would be where you set, this would be where you pull your fibs from. This would be where you set your break of structure at. This is your external high. And this would be your low. So the question was here, right? Isn't this a break of structure? Or, sorry, no, yeah. So the question was here, isn't this a break of structure? No, why? Because if we're looking at this low, what's the high that got us to this low, right? So it used to be this high, then we put in this low. This would be your external high. So whenever we came up and broke this, yes, it's an internal break of structure, but it's not an external break of structure because we didn't break this high. And funny enough, my response was, if we come down and set a new low, then breaking that high would be an external break of structure, and then you'd be looking for mitigation continuation, which is what we got. Also, there was the call out about so sometimes you'll see situations like this. This is why I like Heiken Ashi candles. Sometimes you'll see situations like this where the 15-minute actually has a lower relevant high than the 5-minute did whenever we were doing this, but we still never broke it. But whenever we put in this new low, now you had a 15-minute break here, and if you notice your 15-minute broke here, you come down, you bounce from the 15-minute order block, you continue up, and then where do you get the bearish flip? Once you get a 15-minute bear flip, right? Mitigation, continuation. Then you flip it bullish again, but what happens? Remember, you're pulling your fibs from your external highs and lows, range deviation to the upside, comes down. Okay. Ooh, we're getting some nice SFPs on the 15-minute here. Okay, sorry. That just piqued my eye. Let's see. Can you take a look at like? Yeah. I said I was done, but I'll look at like him for you real quick. Then I do have to be done here. If you want an altcoin charted, you can always hop in the Discord and ask me to chart it in crew chat, and I can chart it for you. Litecoin. Ooh, man, some of these coins are key levels here. Let's see. Spider lines, guys. Spider lines. Come up, reclaim this. Where do we go? Go to the next one. Come up, claim these. Where do we go? Go to the next one. 130. Did we SFP that? We did. I think you close above 121, you're going to 130 on the 15-minute. Let's look at our Cipher matrix here. Oof. Perfect bounce off the bottom of the channel. Yeah, I mean, you're still in discount. I still like this. Was that a range deviation here? Oh, it was a range. I'm telling you guys, where do you get the best RR? If you learn two things from my channel, learn the EMA strat and learn range deviations. You get the highest RR trades. Anyway, yeah, so it looks like we put in a range deviation here. We're still in discount. The premium's up here at the liquidity sweep around 121. I think you durably get above 123. You're going up to the next spider line at 131. That's my analysis. Quick top down on Litecoin. I think you close below 114.23. You're coming back to this golden pocket at 108. Maybe, yeah, I mean, yeah, we basically already did it here, front ran it. But yeah, you don't close below, you reclaim the range. I think the same trade comes into play. You start closing below here, losing this, you're coming down to the golden pocket, 108. That's what I see. Yeah, no problem. All right, guys. Yeah, again, oh man, 32 likes. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate all of y'all. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, ring the bell, join the Discord. It's enough from me for tonight, guys. We're going to have an awesome celebration for 300 tomorrow night. Much love. Trade safe as always. Wave Cipher out.